Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, 1 Kings chapter 12. If you'd like me to come speak at your church or if you have any questions, you can email me at godsohman@gmail.com. So in the last study, 1 Kings 11, we ended. It said that it came to pass at the time when Jeroboam went out of Israel, that the prophet Elijah, the Shunite, found him in the way. And when he had clad himself with a new garment, and they two were alone in the field, that Elijah caught the new garment that was on him, and rent it in 12 pieces. So this guy took his garment, ripped it up into 12 different pieces, and this is kind of a prophecy for what's going to happen to Israel. And then he said to Jeroboam, Take ye then 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, Behold, I will rent the kingdom out of the hands of Solomon, and I will give 10 tribes to thee. So he's saying, out of the 12 tribes, you're going to get 10, someone else is going to get the other 2. As the kingdom was divided, the top part, Israel, was led by Jeroboam, and he had 10 of the tribes. And the bottom part, Judah, was Rehoboam, and he had 2 of the tribes. And you can see the timelines here and how so many parts of the Bible fit into this section of the Bible. You have Solomon here. That's around 931 BC was the split. You have Judah down here with Rehoboam. And here's Elijah the prophet. And Elisha, also a prophet. There's Jonah the prophet. Isaiah the prophet. Jeremiah the prophet. Daniel and Ezekiel. And you can see over here Jeroboam. So, during the split, a lot of things happen according to the Bible. 1 Kings 12 verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel coming to Shechem to make him king. And it came to pass, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent to call to him. And Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made us yokes grievous. Now therefore make thou grievous service to thy father, and his heavy yoke which he had put upon us lighter, when we will serve thee. So the people came to Rehoboam and said, your father had this big yoke upon us, this tax, all these bad things that are going on. We're going to make you a promise. We're going to make you a promise that if you treat us better than he did, we're going to serve you without any kind of problem. And he said unto them, Depart ye from 3 days, and then come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, How do you advise that I may answer this people? This is really important to question. Rehoboam goes to his older people, the people that helped his father figure out different things. And he said, the people want me to be nicer to them, they want me to have less yoke on them, charge them less taxes and such. What do you think I should do? And they spoke unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto the people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be a servant forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old man, which had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and who stood before him. So the older men, the people that helped his father, said, If you treat these people right, they're going to serve you forever, they're going to be loyal subjects, they're going to do everything they possibly can to be good people unto you. But if you go against them, they're not going to be very nice. Well, he decided to ignore what the old people said, and he asked the young people. And he said to them, What counsel give ye that we may answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, Make the yoke which thy father put upon us lighter? And they gave him very bad advice. It says, Danger, bad advice ahead. Be yourself is about the worst advice you can give to some people. Don't base your decisions on advice of those who have to deal with the results. The enemy is worse. No enemy is worse than bad advice. So you have to understand that these young people gave him really bad advice. It says here, And the young men that were grown up with him spoke unto him, saying, Thus shalt thou speak unto the people that spoke unto thee, saying, Thy father made our yokes heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shall you say to them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. The young people went to Rehoboam and said, Tell the people, if you think my father was harsh, I'm worse. I've got more girth in my middle finger, in my little finger, than my father has in his nether regions. I've got. You think my dad was hard? When do you get a load of me? And now, whereas my father did lade you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. Thy father has chastened you with whips, but I will chasten you with scorpions. So Rehoboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the third day, and the king had appointed, saying, Come to me again the third day. They basically said, Tell the people, I think my dad was harsh. He spanked you with a whip. That's nothing. I'm going to spank you with a scorpion, which was basically a whip that had little pieces of metal or bone stuck in there that would rip apart the skin. Like it was a really gruesome thing that they did. So when the people came to him, they decided, we're going to talk to him. Now, do you think Rehoboam followed the old man who said be nice to the people? Or do you think he followed the young man that was going to be mean to the people? Rehoboam's own father Solomon was the wisest man to ever live. And obviously, wisdom is not inherited. Proverbs 11 says, Where no counsel is, the people fail, but in the multitude of counselors there's safety. Proverbs 12 says, The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearketh unto counsel is wise. Proverbs 13 says, He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Proverbs 19 says, Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise at a latter end. Proverbs 24 says, For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in a multitude of counselors there is safety. Just follow your heart. People say it all the time. But it's really bad advice, because you're supposed to follow God's word. Matthew 7 says, Enter ye at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way, that leadeth to destruction, and many will be there going to there. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth to life, and few be there to find it. It's basically saying, don't follow the crowd. Don't follow what seems the easiest. They're all going down this easy, broad gate, but that's not the way to happiness. If you follow the narrow gate, the thing that's hard, sometimes you have to go through some stuff to get to the other end. Well, we'll see what happens. The book of the movie Wizard of Oz has a lot of things in there that I talk about in one of my videos. Follow the yellow brick road or follow gold. It'll lead you to Oz or ounces. And this is going to ruin your life. 1 Timothy 6 says, Supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw thyself. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and is certain we can carry nothing out. If you strive to be rich and powerful, that's great here on earth. But once you die, you can't take it with you. And having food and raiment, let us be likewise content. But they that with rich fall into temptation and snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which draw men into destruction and perdition. So you can have all this money, but if you fall in these traps, if you don't live your life properly, what's it going to do for you? For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have earned from their faith, and pierced themselves through many sorrows. So people strive to have this money. They love money so much they want to keep making more and more and more. But if you don't live your life genuinely and honestly, and you don't live your life in such a way that your money's doing good, well, all you're going to do is change for the money. You're not going to have any kind of future after that. Following the dumb advice of following the yellow brick road will lead you to Oz. It's going to ruin your life, your marriage, your ministry. If you just keep following what you think is going to get you riches, you're not going to see that the riches that you do have can be helped to help others. I'm not saying that money's a problem, but the lack of using money wisely is the problem. If you're just trying to get money so you can be rich, what good is that? Because when you die, you can't take it with you. But if you go to get money to help others, well, then you're going to be rich because you're helping others. Have you ever made a dumb decision? These guys right here in for a word of hurt. Jump off this house there and land on the trampoline. I actually saw a video of this right here. These guys dressed as a zebra, and they went out to the safari to hang out with zebras. And while they were out there, some lions showed up, and they decided they were going to have ham for lunch. They ended up getting away, but they had a lot of sores in their body, let's say. You ever made a dumb decision? 1 Kings 12:13. The king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old man's counsel that they gave him, and spake after the counsel of the young man, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. He's going to increase the taxes on the people, and at some point the people won't be able to take that. Keep taxes going up, and the people can't support themselves. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people of the cause for the world, that he might perform his saying which the Lord spoke to Eliah the Shunite and to Jeroboam the son of Nebat. He should have listened to the old man and was easy on the people, because then they would have been loyal and followed him forever. But instead he listened to the young guys, and the people's not really going to follow him after that. When all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered, saying, What portion we have in David? Neither have we inheritance of the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed unto their tents. But as for the children of Israel which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. So the people that didn't like Rehoboam, they went up north to hang out with Jeroboam. Then King Rehoboam said Adoram, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones that he died. Therefore King Rehoboam made speed to get him out of his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. So Israel rebelled against the house of David to this day. So what it's saying is that people didn't like the way that Rehoboam treated them, and this whole entire history of the southern and the northern, it's chaotic, and I definitely suggest you read First and Second Chronicles and Kings. They're really interesting. And it came to pass when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they called him to the congregation and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah, the tribes of Benjamin, and 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom against Rehoboam, the son of Solomon. But the word of God came to Shimei, the man of God, saying, all throughout Chronicles, it talks about this Shemaiah. 2 Chronicles 12, it says, So King Rehoboam strengthened himself in Jerusalem and reigned. For Rehoboam was 140 years old. He was 41 when he began to reign. And he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city the Lord had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naam, the Ammonitess. And he did evil because he prepared not his heart to seek the Lord. Now the acts of Rehoboam, first and last, are all written in the books of Shemaiah the prophet, and of Oddo the seer concerning genealogies. And there were wars between Rehoboam and Jeroboam constantly. So the northern states and the southern states could never really get along. There was always war between the two because they both wanted to control all of Israel. But the word of God came unto Shemaiah, the man of God, saying, Speaking to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, the king of Judah, and to all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the remnants of the people, saying, Thus saith the Lord, You shall not go up, nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me. Be hearken therefore to the word of the Lord, and return to depart according to the word of the Lord. So God basically told him, you guys need to stop fighting, go back to your hometowns. This is basically what God says. Then Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim, and dwelleth there, and went in from thence and built Peniel. And Jeroboam said into his heart, Now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. And his people go up to do sacrifices in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem. They shall the heart of the people turn against the Lord, even to Rehoboam king of Judah. And they shall kill me, and go against Rehoboam the king of Judah. Whereupon the king took counsel, and made 2 calves of gold, and said unto them, It is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy God, O Israel, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, and set one in Bethel, and the other put in Dan. So this king decided to take 2 calves of gold and tell the people, you can worship them, and put them on 2 separate areas. Well, that's not what God wanted you to do. God wanted you to worship him and not some kind of idol. And you can see on here the kingdom divided. Here's Bethel, and here's Dan. So he put them on the top and the bottom part, so that way all of Israel, if you weren't in the middle, you could go to one of the ends and you could worship there. But God didn't ask you to worship a cow, he asked you to worship him. And of all the creatures of the world that claim as your God, the cow's got to be one of the dumbest. You know why cows always have that stupid look on their face? Because they're stupid. Cows are not very smart. I mean, cows just go out there, they live their life, they're groovy, they just enjoy being a cow, and they don't really understand other things besides being a cow. Cows do a lot of really silly things. They're cute, but they're kind of silly. And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before one, even to Dan, and made a house of high places, and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi. So he basically, not only did he make idols, but he put priests there. Was not the priestly tribe, which was the Levites. And Jeroboam ordered a feast in the 8th month, the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that is Judah, and he offered upon the altar. So he did in Bethel, sacrifices to the calves that he had made. And he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made. So not only did he make the idols, not only did he make the priests not of Judah, but now he's sacrificing to these idols. And he offered up the altar which he had made in Bethel, the 15th day of the 8th month, even the month which they had devised in his own heart, and ordained a feast unto the children of Israel. And he offered up the altar and burnt incense. Well, guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can always email me, or you can comment below. Make sure you like and share, subscribe, tell your friends about how great I am. Click the notification bell. I'm going to put on the bottom right of the screen, I'm going to put the First Kings Bible Study. Top left of the screen, I'm going to put the Exodus Bible Study. And the bottom left is going to be a random video YouTube thinks you're going to like. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have yourself a great day.